With God's help, we become unstoppable. With God's help, everything is possible. All of the accomplishments are remarkable. Others can hate, but they still can't stop it though. We move forward, never ever stumble. With God blessing us, we still stay humble. And through the struggle and all of the trouble, our work we redouble.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unstoppable Purpose in Motion, brought to you by us here on INCRadio Washington, D.C. Satellite Studio. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of discipline and building habits that stick, choosing consistency over motivation when the spark of motivation fades. So today, our panel will share their stories and lessons we've all learned that keeps us unstoppable. We would love for our live chat to join us as well in our discussion, because together we can inspire and learn from one another and at the same time celebrate the journey that we are in. Now, before we get started with our discussion, we do have our episode 2 recap and top comment shoutouts today. So I believe, what did we talk about last broadcast? Oh, before we actually do that, I want to introduce who's here with me. My name is Lionel Ornado, and I have here with me...
I'm Jacer Castellano.
And I'm Elisa Mojica.
Yeah, I was just so excited to jump into this discussion that I forgot to introduce myself. So last week's episode, we talked about... What did we talk about?
Courage.
Mm-hmm.
Courage.
What is courage?
And doing it anyway. So we talked about self-doubt and doing it anyway.
Yeah, I think I remember we talked about like our definitions of courage.
Mm-hmm.
I think mine was doing it even though you're scared or something.
Uh-huh.
Oh, doing it scared.
Doing it scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was like being brave.
Being brave.
Mine was overcoming the fear of the unknown.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. I like that one.
I think those are like really good, like I guess like definitions of what courage means to us.
Yeah.
So I think we have our top comments from that show. So
Our top comments. We have 2 comments.
we have 2 comments. One was from sorry, I'm a little flummy this morning.
I'll read it.
Okay. Yes, please.
We have Sister Grace Galarpa. She said, courage. Whenever you almost fall, but you decided to stand your ground. And we have one from Brother Vincent Thomas. What encourages me every day is my church family. But above all, God is number 1. Without him and without their love and support, I wouldn't stay strong. Truly blessed to walk this journey with God. Oh, I love that.
I love that one
Yeah.
because, right, source of courage can come from anywhere. Like those are sources of courage. I think a good support system will help give us courage.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to see if we have any comments in our chat this morning. I think we have a voice this morning.
Who's our voice in the sky today?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Nidel. Good morning to everyone, and we do have a lot tuning in today. So we have Junalyn Surienda. Happy watching po mula sa lugar ng Wawa.
Wow.
Wow.
Welcome
And then
up.
welcome. And then we have Ace Tapang. Good morning, everyone. Hashtag Anarundo.
Good morning po.
We have Christina Lazaro. Good morning. But brother Audrey Dulai. Oh, hello. She's saying hello to you. And then we have Therese Joyce Bautista. Good morning from Anne Arundel. And also Harold Melchor from Waldorf as well. We also have Brother Richard Soterio. Good morning to all. Happy viewing, Bo. Good morning,
Hi, po, Brother Richard.
And we have myself. Hi, everyone. Back to you guys.
Wow, what a great voice. Am I right?
Yes. So for today's show, if we can get the rundown. So we also have our question of the week tied to today's topic. is what do you think is more important, discipline or motivation, and why? So we'll be sharing all your answers throughout the show. So do type them down into chat. Actually, it depends on how your YouTube's laid out. It's either down below or this way.
Yeah.
This way. One of the ways. All right. So to kick us off is for my lovely guests here today is what do you think is more important, discipline or motivation?
For me, I think discipline is more important than motivation because motivation, you're just going to hear it. And then what after? It's like you have to act, you have to do an action, you have to discipline yourself. And yeah.
Yeah, I also agree with her because like I do believe that no matter how much motivation you acquire, it's not gonna force you or make you move into whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, so what I tend to do is like I kind of compare it to like sports. Like people can motivate you to train in a sport, but it's up to you to actually do the training.
Yes, to build that discipline, to
Yeah.
keep going at it. Right?
Exactly.
I think in terms of importance, I do want to say they kind of go hand in hand because you can't really have one without the other.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
Because in order to want to create discipline, you need the motivation to establish that discipline.
So do you believe that motivation comes from yourself or from others?
I think it can come from both. Like we mentioned before, with the source of courage of doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think can come from either within, like, say like you're saying you're lying in bed one day, you're like, I need to do something with my life. And so that's when you're like, okay, I'm going to, for example, like, go start working out. I'm going to go start hanging out with friends. I'm going to start doing, I don't know, something that a lot of my friends back in California did. They did CrossFit, which is, I tried it once. Oh, man.
Oh, man, it hurts my knees.
that hurt my core. Afterwards, I was like in the bed. I was like, for discipline, discipline, you need, I think you need the motivation to establish discipline, and you need a discipline. But without motivation, you can't have discipline. So we asked for some responses for our question of this week. We have one from Ariane Bell. Says discipline and motivation comes through. From Lizelle Ramirez says, I think they go hand in hand, but you can't have discipline without motivation. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. All right, and then we have one more from Alexis Mira says, discipline. Discipline is, it's covering the camera. Discipline is a character trait that feeds your identity, and we make choices based on our identity. Motivation comes and goes.
Ooh, that's so true.
So like motivation is like the spark that starts it off.
Oh, okay.
But we don't feed that spark, and then our discipline won't grow.
Yeah. And then sometimes you don't always have that spark, so motivation does come and go because it's not always going to be there.
I guess discipline is like the fire, and we feed that fire with discipline, and then the spark is the motivation that we get. Okay.
It's like I think the phrase is the grass grows green, the grass grows where you water it.
There you go.
All right, so I guess from discipline and motivation is like, do you consider yourself more disciplined or more motivated? And like, why do you think so?
Ooh, not gonna lie, I think I'm more motivated than disciplined because I love to, I like to motivate myself. Like, you can do this. Everything happens for a reason. This is gonna be best for you. But then sometimes it's kind of hard to discipline yourself. Like, for example, for me, I try to start going for walks every morning before work. So I wake up around 6:15, 6:30, and then go for like 20-minute walk. I started doing good, but later on I was just like, oh, I don't want to do this. But it's like deep inside, I knew it was going to be good for me. But, I didn't have much discipline.
Yeah, for me, like, I also am the same way. Like, if I'm not motivated to do anything that day, I'm just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's like, deep inside, you're like, I mean, there's another day I could do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do it tomorrow.
Yeah, but like, some other days, like, I have to, like, okay, I have to discipline myself. I have to do my chores. But then some days, like, man, I'm really not motivated to, but man, I have to do it, or else I get yelled at.
But hey, at least we're being honest.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Yeah,
though?
I feel like I'm more motivated than disciplined, but I'm trying to build discipline. I think it's part of it. I think I saw something in the comments. If you could scroll up a little, from discipline. The habits from Grace Galarpis is discipline. The habits of order and motivation will follow. So, for example, going to work or church ahead of time, motivation will help you keep going. Will help keep you going.
Yeah.
So I think as the discipline grows, like the habit starts to stick, and then like you become like, it kind of like starts feeding, the motivation starts feeding into itself, and then you got into this this great routine of doing something good for yourself. I think that's something, if anything, to take away. Building good habits is something that I think we can all agree on.
Yeah, good habits is basically discipline. Yeah.
So building on that is, what is something that you started that was hard at first, but now it feels like a regular routine?
I don't know if this is TMI, but it's also like health too, but flossing at first. At first, when you're a little kid, the dentist is always like, make sure you floss.
Make sure you floss.
Yeah. And then later on, I started flossing. It became like every other day, and then it started becoming a habit, so I did it every night. Yeah.
For some reason, so there's the dance called the flossery. I was just thinking, you do that every morning.
You do
and
every morning.
night.
I gotta do the floss this morning.
Well, like dental hygiene. Dental hygiene is always good. Yeah. How about you, Jason?
For me, ever since I got out of the military, like shaving was like the hardest thing. Cause like I don't want to shave anymore because I did that for like 10 years straight. I don't want to do that anymore. But then now it's like, now I'm going to more professional type of a career. I have to look more presentable. So then I started shaving everything, my head, my face. So that was hard at first. Like, man, I have to discipline myself. Before I go to work, I have to shave.
Yeah, I feel like with discipline too, it's like at first you think it's too much, it's gonna take up your time, but then it's gonna be part of your routine anyways if you know how to like work on it.
Yeah.
I think for me, something that was hard at first, ever since entering the professional world, is waking up early.
Oh yeah.
Because one of my very first jobs was like a construction type job, where they started at 5 a.m.
Wow.
And so my travel to get there would take an hour. And so I would have to discipline myself to wake up, or I would set my alarms at like 3:30. So in that way I have enough time to get ready in the morning, do whatever I need to do, and then be on the road by 4 a.m. So in that way I'm there by 5 a.m.
Wow.
So I think starting from there and then continuing that into my next job and keeping that going forward, waking up early. There are some days, especially during the winter time when like the sun's not up as long, I would leave before the sunrise and I would get home
when the sun is gone.
When the sun is gone. So I think that waking up early, because also like you have the rest of the day to be able to do other stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a comment. I think do we have a bird in the sky to read this?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we have a comment from Darlene Dizon. To be honest, after being under the weather last week, I lost a lot of motivation to work out.
Ooh.
But this morning, I decided it's important to complete my third workout of the week, and I found motivation mid-run.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we also have from Lizelle Ramirez. I think I am more motivated right now. I'm more lenient with little things with little things get by.
I'm more lenient with little things. Get by. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, but like, I think we discussed this in the previous episode as well, is that it's the little steps that kind of help us keep moving forward and keep building that momentum. And it helps keep our progress towards our goal in motion, which is the title of the show, Purpose in Motion.
Hey. There you go.
So something I wanted to ask is, well, we already talked about something that was hard at first, but now feels like routine. For all of us here, is what was the most challenging habit you've ever had to build?
I think sleeping early.
Yeah.
Because after a long day, you just want to use your phone because screen time, you want more time for yourself. So it was challenging because I knew I had to sleep early. I had to shower early. I had to get to bed early just so I can sleep early, like around 10 or 11. So that was kind of hard because I felt like I was losing time for myself, but I'm also like, oh, but this is good for me.
Yeah, for me, like, actually waking up in the morning, what you said, because for the longest time I worked graveyard shift. So
so like super late at night.
Super late at night and like into the early morning, and then I just sleep all day and then just wake up naturally because I have all that time, because it feels like you have all this time. But now that I'm like actually trying to wake up in the morning, I set like 8 to 7 different alarms.
Same.
Like, okay, snooze. Snooze.
That's one habit too that I have to get rid of.
Not press snooze.
Yeah.
And then the one that gets annoyed wakes up is my wife next to me, and she punches me to wake up. It's like, hey, your alarm's going out. Wake up.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
I am.
Ooh, okay, yeah. That's me. I would set multiple alarms as well. Sometimes it's like there's like a mixed bag of like whether you should sleep with your phone next to you or not. Before I would used to sleep with my phone under my pillow, so that way I can feel the vibration through my pillow and it wakes up my head. But I think one time my phone was like super hot.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I'm not going to have that underneath my pillow. So I just put it on top of my pillow next to it. So it still vibrates my pillow. I think there should, I have an idea of what I need to get to help me wake up is a vibrating pillow for like when the alarm goes off.
Wait, that's actually a thing?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, since you're an engineer, you can probably engineer something.
Yeah,
like
do it yourself.
Open your like to flip your bed open.
I've seen those
with hydraulics or something.
It just dump you out on the floor.
Okay, you're awake.
I think for me, one thing that's a challenging habit I think I'm still trying to build it is to not look at my phone first thing in the morning.
Ooh, yeah.
Like I would try to wake up, not look at my phone. So I would go to the bathroom, splash some water on my face or whatever, do all that stuff to actually try to get out of bed first. And I think that also helps with like you naturally waking up. And it doesn't like overload your brain with like all the feeds that you've been going that like we scroll through throughout the day, because like our brain starts to get filled up with like all that stuff, and then suddenly when it comes to the time to actually start our day, it's like we're already mentally exhausted because of all the mental thing process that we did in the morning, did that morning. So with helping build those habits, like what are some strategies that help us build habits that actually stick? I think like one is having someone help us stay accountable is one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. Like my wife, of course. I'm always going to mention her every single show. It's never going to stop. She's
your greatest motivator?
Yeah, she's my greatest motivator. So she's always going to be there for me to motivate me in doing the right things, and especially all my chores and all that stuff. So
yeah, same. I agree. That's me with my mom and my sister. I feel like also me being the youngest in the house, I think it's also good that I'm the youngest in the house because I have those that's older than me to really tell me what's wrong or right, and it's coming from their hearts.
Yeah.
Guidance through love.
Yeah.
For like sort of a strategy is I set reminders on my phone like some apps with task lists, they also set times and whatnot. You could set times, set a reminder, set it recurring. And so I would actually use that to help me like, okay, I need to do this by this day. I need to remind myself to do this. So like if we can't, like, I guess like if we can't find someone to help us stay accountable, we can hold ourselves accountable by like the use of technology.
So like making like a checklist that you have to do like every day.
Yeah,
that sounds,
like a daily checklist.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
think
cool.
Reading Bible verses and also quotes
Mm-hmm.
really play a big part, especially in the morning. It's like when you read a verse, it's like it really wakes you up and keeps you going throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. Especially like during the week on incmedia.org, their Instagram page, they have the verse of the week every Wednesdays, I think.
I thought it was Mondays.
Is it Mondays? Or one of the days?
One of the
I would usually screenshot them because like one, they're really nicely designed.
yeah.
And two, it's like usually something that you know kind of helps me get through the week. So do we have I think we have more comments on this as well.
Yes. So we have from Darlene Dizon.
Hello again.
Hello. I heard from someone that to help wake up at a certain time in the morning, don't put it on repeat. Instead, purposely set your alarm the night before for the time you want. I guess it's to prepare yourself.
That's true. Yes.
Lionel, you should start doing that. Yvette, the way I prep for the next day is to start the night before.
Oh.
And she also says, I like to write down what an ideal day would be for me and try my best to accomplish that. I like to romanticize my life.
The preparing for the next day to start the night before, I think that's a great strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that back when I was a student, but now I feel like I have to start on it again because especially like for me, I like drinking my coffee every morning, and sometimes it makes me late for work for the most part because it's like I have to drink my coffee before I leave. So it's like, you know, even preparing just the milk, the coffee all mixed up together, and then I can just like dump it on the cup.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that saves time.
Yeah.
I think lowering the barrier of entry of the things that we want to do, it really goes a long way. Like starting like what the comment said, what Yvette said is starting the night before. So you'd lay out your clothes for the next morning. You would prepare some people do meal prep.
Yeah, like make it easier for
yourself.
Yeah.
Like lowering that bar of like, but then like trying to get rid of the thought that's like, I have to do this, I have to get this ready, I have to just do it then.
Yeah.
I think someone mentioned in the last broadcast is like, if it takes just 5 minutes to do, just do it then rather than putting it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it leaves more room for stuff that you want to do later on, right? So that makes sense. To do
Yeah,
right then
even
and
the
there.
outfits, I agree on that because you could be in front of your closet for like 10 minutes that morning and you're like, oh, you're late.
Like, what am I wearing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess throughout our life, and I mean also in this discussion, is like, has your view on discipline changed over time? At first I was like, I don't want to do it. Like, why do I have to do it? Like, and all that. So when I was younger, I was like, someone will take care of that for me and whatnot.
That's true. It comes with maturity too, growing up, because when we're younger, like what you said, like someone else could do it. It's gonna happen anyways. But it's like you have to work on it. You have to, what I said earlier, action.
Yeah. So for me, I think discipline grew from you're disciplined because you want to please others. You know, like, you know, trying to get good grades to please your parents, to please the teachers, you know, and whatever. But then it grew up to be like, oh, now this discipline is helping me and my faith, you know. I have to do this for myself and for my faith with God and stuff like that. So I think that's what growing up led me to change my ways of discipline.
I do want to add on to that as well. When I was younger, my parents told me like, hey, how should I word this? Is that they I joined the Children's Worship Service Choir.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, yeah, but all my friends are out there.
Yeah.
They're like waiting for their worship service to start. But then as I, started practicing for joining the choir, and then slowly all my friends also joined the choir when they became of age. And that sort of helped me build the discipline of arriving early for worship service.
Yeah.
And also the leaders that they placed for us in the choir also helped us build good habits of being early, being organized,
having all your hymns prepared.
having all of your hymns prepared.
Yeah.
Also, prayer.
Yeah.
It's something that they always that they instilled in us is the power of prayer.
Yeah.
Even holding your devotional prayers.
Devotional
now.
prayers.
Yeah.
Like you have to set a time. You have to discipline yourself for real. That you have to be, you have to be ready for that time before you pray.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And I think one of the stories, one of the lessons that they've tried to instill in as well is putting God first.
Yes.
That as long as we put God first in our life, everything else will work out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do we have a comment before I go into my story? I have a story for this.
Yes, actually, we have from Brother Albert Santos. He says they are equally important. If you have discipline, you are always motivated to reach your goal. And if you achieved your goal because of your motivation, it is being credited to your discipline. Very true. And we have from Brother Sidney Santos. He says, from the Bible, no discipline seems pleasant at that time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. That's a great reminder.
Very true. And
And we have from Anne Marie, getting a habit to stick definitely stems from good discipline. For example, not letting yourself have quote unquote phone time unless you've done your chores, to-do lists, and etc. Sort of like a reward system.
yes, we gotta like hack our brain to like not immediately seek for that. What is it called? Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Like the delaying it, so in that way, delaying it to the right time, so in that way we can one, remain productive, and two, remain like stay disciplined with the goals that we have in mind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, your story time.
Yeah. So one of the story was in relation to putting God first. So there was one time, we had to go to an exam. Well, someone had to go to an exam, but it was at the same time as like a church event. But that exam had a lot of like, I guess it's weighted very heavily on their grade, but they decided to go to the church event anyway. And yet they still graduated. Actually, they still passed the class. They were still able to do all the things that they wanted to do. And, they were still able to, graduate. The brother the brother in the story that was mentioned, he's married now. He has a beautiful wife, beautiful family. And that really shows that as long as we put God first and we do what God wants us to do, then everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
Now, looking back, so having that brother had that discipline to always put God first, and everything will work out for him, and also will work out for all of us. Now, looking back, how has discipline shaped our journey?
So for me is, I've got out of my discipline, especially my faith, from my mom. Because story time. So back in the day, she used to, when she was still, healthy, she used to be a deaconess. And one time her job was forcing her to work during Holy Supper on a Sunday. And she was like, no, I can't. I have to go attend church. I cannot. It's like, well, if you don't work, you're going to be fired. She was like, okay, I quit. So she quit her job, performed her duty. And then like not too long after, she got an even better job after.
Wow.
So like that kind of like, she always tells me like, hey, no matter what we go through, always put God first and everything will follow through. So like, no matter if you lose your job or, if you fall into a deep, dark place, putting God first will always bring you that prosperity that you need.
Yeah, for me, the same. Because look how discipline really shaped my journey, especially with devotional prayers and always putting God first. And it was, of course, because of my parents. Because growing up, they always we'd always have a conversation in our kitchen for dinner. Like we'd share our problems, and then we'd cry, and then my parents were like, "Why are you crying? Like we have God with us all the time. Like you just have to keep praying, and you have to make sure that what you're doing is right." And even for my mom, like growing up, she'd always set an alarm for her devotional prayer, and ever since, like from before till now, she never misses. So it's like that's really discipline, and I look up to that.
Yeah, I think really rooting our faith in God is one of the best motivators, as well as helps us build discipline.
Yeah, definitely.
And really putting God first, I think, is something that we can all I guess attest to.
Yeah.
Like there was one time where I had to go on a family trip for a church, or not a family trip. I had to go on a trip for a church event, and I was really struggling in this class, but it was something that, it's one of the major events in a church that, it really comes once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, I'm going to participate in the activities of the church, do my best in, working through whatever comes back, working through whatever's waiting for me. That's what I was trying.
Yeah.
Whatever is waiting for me, just when I get back. So in that way, I can focus my time and effort into participating in the church events, as well as helping not just myself but also others enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
I came back and my professor was like, "Oh, but you can't turn this in anymore because the due date's already passed." And I was like, "Okay, is there a way that I can try to make it up?" And he's like, "Sorry, you can't make it up." And it was a big chunk of my grade, but through God's help and through, of course, the power of prayer, I studied hard. I got good grades in like the exams, the assignments, and everything else, that it ended up not taking out a big chunk of my grades.
Wow.
And so I was still able to pass the class.
Speed bump.
Yeah.
Speed bump.
Yeah.
It's just a speed bump. And I think, do we have any more comments to read? Or Nidel?
Hello. So I have a comment from Nidel Ibarra. I think I know her. She said, "My Lola had Alzheimer's before and she forgot a lot of things, but because her faith was so strong and she had that discipline, she always got dressed in her uniform ready to perform the duty that she loved."
Nice.
Wow.
That is discipline.
Yeah.
And also like our faith in our Almighty God.
Mm-hmm. And I see that we have one last comment.
We do. From Anne Marie. "Practicing discipline has shown me that I am very capable of things I thought I had no capacity for. And that way, my results motivated me to take on challenges I've been afraid of taking on before."
Oh, I love that. Actually, with discipline, it's like when you know how to discipline yourself, you're like, "Whoa, I did not know that I could do this."
Yeah.
Yeah, like looking back on it, like say, for example, INCRadio. I started, I think, about 5-ish years ago, and I never thought that I would be, doing so much for INCRadio, with like doing behind the scenes, doing tech, being in front of the camera. I think something that I didn't expect, and showing up every week for the shows, I think, instilled great discipline, because like I have fun on INCRadio.
Yeah.
I think having fun is also a big motivator.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to have those motivators.
Yeah, you wouldn't think like I do this every Saturday, like especially when we weren't INC Radio yet. We were like, oh, sleeping in every Friday, but Like, look at us having fun every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And also, I think I'd like to give credit to my friends who also kind of helped convince me to join INCRadio. Without that, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty awesome, especially when seeing when you go to the international church events. Like you see our fellow INCRadio family from the other satellite studios, like the International Kadiwa Meet and Greet in Canada. I ended up helping out in their show and like trying to because their show was during one of the events in the Kadiwa Meet and Greet.
Oh.
And so I was like helping them out. I was like, oh yeah, this is so cool. Yeah. And it started like talking and like being able to like sort of feed ideas off each other. So I think without the discipline of consistently showing up and motivating myself to keep showing up, I think also helped open doors for opportunities and experiences that I probably never would have like thought of.
Yeah. Shout out to those that got us into INCRadio.
Nice. Now before we wrap up, do we have any special greetings from our panelists today?
I would like to greet my friends and family in New Jersey and all around the world.
I'd like to greet my family from Maryland and all around the world.
I'd also like to greet my friends and family not from Maryland. Oh, also, yes, Maryland, and also in California and all around the world. I also do want to give a special greeting to my sister. Today's her birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Nai. Hope to see you soon. Do we have any greetings in the chat as well?
Yes, we have greetings from Zenaida Novastras, from Midtown Toronto, District of Greater Toronto.
Ooh.
Welcome, Zenaida. Do we have any others? Can we scroll through the chat?
Oh, from Ida Aben, belated happy birthday po to Brother Lino Castigliones.
Happy birthday.
Happy
to
birthday
you.
po.
Do you have any more? I think I saw a couple others.
Greetings.
All these greetings.
And we have from Helen Harper, good morning po and happy viewing from the local congregation of #Quantico.
Quantico.
Welcome. And I think let's try to find one more.
Let's see.
Oh, and there are many PC. Thank you for watching.
Now, before we wrap up, and I know that it's the end of the show. We have so many more discussions waiting for all of us, not just also on today's topic, but also on the subsequent topics because, right, we try to build on the discussion every week. So for next week's episode, we'll be talking about pushing forward and trusting the process. I think we talked about a lot of that today, lightly, but next week we're going to be diving deep into that topic. So our question for you for next week, our question of the week is, what do you do when progress feels slow?
Okay, and yeah, we repeat, what do you do when progress feels slow? The one on the screen was actually a mistake.
That was last week's.
Yeah, that was last week. So our question is, what do you do when progress feels slow?
All right. So send your responses in our live chats or send us a direct message so that next week we may feature them in our next broadcast. Now, for our message to all of our listeners, and it sort of encompasses what this entire show is all about, is that, we may stumble and we may pause, but with God's help and with the strength that He has given us, we rise. We continue to press onward, and that is what makes us unstoppable. Now, but before we go, we'd like to extend our heartfelt thank yous to those who make it all possible. For their unstoppable support, we'd like to thank our INCRadio Washington, D.C. family for supporting our broadcast, especially to Brother Sidney R. Santos, our District Supervising Minister, Brother Richard Soterio, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Audric Dulay, our District CFO Overseer, Brother Tyler Warden, our District Multimedia Advisor, Brother Emmanuel Ndaya, our Executive Producer, Brother Wally Taray, our Station Manager, our dedicated INCRadio Kuya techs here and in the Philippines. We'd like to give a special thanks to Brother Angelo Aranyo V. Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, as well as we'd like to give our special thanks to Brother Eduardo Vimanolo, our Executive Minister of the iglesianicristo Church of Christ, for allowing us to have programs like today's show here on INCradio. So thank you for tuning in and spending part of your day with us. If you like today's show, be sure to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below so you never miss out on what's coming up next. Until then, catch us again right here next week, right here on Unstoppable Purpose in Motion, presented by us here on INCradio, Washington, D.C. Satellite Studio, every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And remember, stay inspired, stay connected, and most of all, stay unstoppable. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Bye. See you next Saturday.
With God's help, we become unstoppable. With God's help, everything is possible. All of the accomplishments are remarkable. Others can hate, but they still can't stop it though. We move forward, never ever stumble. With God blessing us, we still stay humble. And through the struggle and all of the trouble, our work we redouble.
Through the good and the bad, we remain victorious. We return all the praises to our God.